All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to a real crypto extreme stream. Market's dropping. Of course, I've got a stream. What do you expect me to do when the market drops? Want me to not do a stream? That's what I do. At least it seems that way. Had a comment the other day. I think it was on like an up thrust here. Someone's like, "What? We had an uptick in the market, real crypto. You're not streaming?" Oh yeah, it's not a down market. A little bit of truth to that, of course. The main reason is that we have many more sell-offs than uptrends. And it just is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. So thanks for joining me. John McGuff, XRP pulling market up. Funny you would mention that XRP actually has been leading us up and down lately. Check my title. I haven't changed my title. Oh, there you go. That was an old one. All right, just change that. That should change in a minute. Thanks, Paul. Paul's always on point. Everyone say thank you to Paul. What's up, Fluxmaster? No, you know what, man? The market's just been so flat and lazy. I've got a lot going on personally. I just haven't been super invested. I mean, real crypto, I'm just a real guy trading crypto. I mean, that's really all I'm doing here. So, if you guys want more real crypto, I hate to say it, but, feel free to sign up for the Power Hour where we do an hour and a half every single day. And, we talk crypto. You can have all your questions answered, all that stuff. So, what's going on with stocks? Lots of red stuff is what's going on with stocks. Stocks are actually at a point where the market just went into a correction today. I actually haven't checked investors.com today. Yep, market in correction. So, market went in correction. I put a tweet out about it probably a couple hours before the market closed. It was pretty apparent the volume was super huge. So the market went into a correction as of yesterday. So if you're into the stock market, I know this is a crypto extreme stream, but the stock market is in what is called a correction. Now, this is not like a 15% correction. A correction is when the market has many days of distribution, a lot of selling days over the past, recent history. And when the market goes into a correction, it can stay in a correction for an indefinite amount of time. There's no rule about how long something needs to stay in a correction. Doesn't mean we're going down to what everyone typically calls a correction level of 15%. So this is the NASDAQ index. This is the futures representation of the NASDAQ. And so this bar right here is actually today. The futures trade like 23 and a half hours a day. They're only closed for like 15 minutes. So I've got 3 bars on the NASDAQ here that you guys want to look at. These 3. This is 12%, which we've already done many times in the past. We did 2 bars here. They're equidistant, and this would be a third equidistant drop, taking us basically down towards this trend line. This would be a typical what is called a correction, which is a 15% drop. And if we go past 20%, we're considered to be in a bear market. So this puts us into a drop, but not really a correction territory, at least in definition terms. Even though, according to IBD, we're in a correction, which is what we just went into today. But if we go into an actual correction in the market, we should end up somewhere down here in this range between these 2 bars. Anything past that, and it's just going to probably be a bear market until the middle of next year. But a lot of stocks are dumping. We're going to do actually a much larger analysis of the market just because it's warranted. We're going to do that tomorrow. And I do a stream on my Real Stocks channel. If you guys don't know about it, it's small channel, only a few hundred people there. I don't know if that'll show up. I kind of Googled that when I really shouldn't have Googled that. I was supposed to go to YouTube. Anyway, if you go to YouTube and search Real-Stocks, you'll go ahead and see me there. So tomorrow morning at about 6 in the morning, my time, which is 30 minutes before the market opens, we're gonna begin. That is not me. I wonder what the heck. Must be an advertisement. That is not me. So Real-Stocks, go ahead and check me out right there. And we're going to do a breakdown of the NASDAQ and kind of what I think could be a good buy coming up for the NASDAQ. Whoops, there's my grandma and my son when he was younger. I love this photo. It's freaking awesome. All right, sorry guys, got distracted there a little bit. That's right, Corey. Look who came to FUD. Not really FUD, Corey. Not here to FUD. I don't need to FUD anything. Look at the market. What do I need to FUD? Don't need to do that. All right, let me get to some comments. I know I missed a few there. I was talking about the stock market. People were asking some questions. Definitely understand why the market is in a precarious situation. And also as a cryptocurrency market, I noted in the Slack chat room earlier, hey, we get to watch 2 drops in one day. I don't know when the last time that's happened, if ever. You know, we've seen stock market drops, but once the market closes, you go about your business and you have some time to breathe. Unfortunately, this is crypto, and you never get to sleep. You have to be up all the time. And all right, so let's check out some of these comments, guys. Going on with stocks, we addressed that. Looking for the arbitrage on Bitcoin. Yeah, absolutely. Bitcoin has some arbitrage opportunities between Coinbase here. This is the Coinbase one. It's 6,200, and this is Bitfinex and even some other exchanges up at 63 and a quarter. So you want a free $125? Go ahead and chance that, because you never know which way it's gonna swing up or down, or if that spread's gonna tighten by the time you sell. But that is an interesting spread right there. I've tried to play that in the past. I'm not sure what Bitcoin's transactions are right now, so if their transaction time's low, you may be able to take advantage of that. Johnny B, what's up, Johnny B? Long time no see, buddy. I know mainly because I'm not on here all the time. So it's probably my fault. I'm sure you're here and would be here if I'm here. You're always here when I'm streaming, so thanks for that. Do we think now that we have this blown off dump that we will get a pretty good bounce, maybe 7 or 8K? So there's a few theories in the market right now. I'm not quite sure which one I believe is more viable or subscribe to. Although, actually, now that I thought about that, those of you here in my power hour, remember yesterday when I said if we dump in the next day or two, it'll be one of the bigger confluences because of this trend line right there. Remember we talked about that? And then we get the dump here today. I wasn't calling for it. I actually thought it wasn't going to happen. I said, yeah, it's probably not going to dump today or tomorrow, and then here we go. It dumps. So anyway, that's pretty funny. In terms of the bounce, so let's take a bigger term picture. Let's go to the daily chart. All right, so here's the daily chart. I do have quite a few lines drawn on my chart, and each of these lines actually means something. It does look like a lot of gobbledygook, but it actually does mean something. This is the longer term trend line going back quite some time, all the way to that 11,000 high. This is the trend line that I have drawn because it touches quite a few points. So that's valid. This horizontal low trend line is the low trend line from this spike low down here going all the way across through here currently. And then you have these 2 channel trend lines, which are alerts that I have for the members of the Power Hour. We have an alert system set up through Slack, and we get alerted on basically, 80 coins now. So we can set up an alert on any coin that we want, thanks to Paul. Thank Paul again. And yeah, so whenever something moves on our spreadsheet past our alert level, we get alerted to it. And that's what these 2 levels are. These have actually been adjusted up a little bit. Actually, let me look at the spreadsheet. Where are we currently? We're at 66.46 for upside, which was up here, which we poked through above, but albeit briefly. Then 63.90. So right there, right under that low is where that alert got triggered. So if you got in there, that was a pretty good place to short BTC right there. And this is the most recent triangle that we have put in Bitcoin. So that being said, kind of a long answer to your question there, Johnny. You said this was not a bad dump at all. Yeah, it wasn't the worst dump. The volume was pretty decent. Actually, it was really good because this is a daily chart, and look at that. The day's only so 2.5 hours old, and look at that. This is going to be a huge volume day. So this will either be a good bottom day, or this will be a good day for us to pretty much break through. I doubt we're just going to stop all volume action. So let's go to the lower term time frames. And what do we see here? We see what appears to be a quasi support candle, although it doesn't quite meet support criteria, but that doesn't mean a whole lot on the 2-hour chart. Let's go to the smaller term chart. So I have this volume aggregation tool that I developed, and members of the Power Hour also gain access to this, and the Barzar. What's Barzar say? Lots of selling right there on Barzar. Look at that. selling. So nothing bullish on bars are yet. This actually looking like a consolidation for continuation of the action. But if you did want to go long here, I can't blame you. A lot of the members are talking back and forth in the Slack chat room. Some are going long, some are looking short. People that that don't quite have that that fortitude in either direction are left a little bit confused, and I can't blame them either. But overall, this level has been supported in the past. So if you want to go long here, I don't blame you, but you need to have a stop in place if you do. All right, there's a lot of people here right now, ladies and gentlemen. Each of you have a different trading strategy. I'm not here to necessarily push mine. Some of you are trying to scalp this for a bounce. Some of you want to buy this for longer term. Some of you think we're going to dump. So I'm going to try to give you, both of those scenarios. But on the shorter term, bars are here tells us there's quite a bit of selling. The volume aggregation tool tells you quite a bit of selling. No major bottoming here as of yet. So it does look like there is a good potential for continuation of this to the downside. Now, does that mean we're going to break this lower trend line here? That's not quite, I'm not sure if that's in the cards. It just depends how big the dump is next. But this is quite significant volume, and this is going to go, either big bullish or big bearish. So we've come to a point where we had this, believe it or not, guys, before this dumped, and I was talking to my one of our members, Eli, about this. He's a friend of mine. And I was talking to Eli about this. I'm like, I'm actually putting a video out called The Flattening. And now I don't get to put that video out because we dropped. There's no more flattening. But we were flat for many weeks. And the dump here on such large volume would imply further downside action, would imply this is not just a one-time event. But we have seen major support at this level going back for a long time. So can we bounce here and go to 7 or 8K? It's possible. I don't think we go straight through it, though. We would have probably already seen a pretty big reaction, I think. And we didn't see any major reactions out of these lows right there. If you look at those smaller term time frames, it wasn't anything major. These bounces were fairly gradual. There's nothing outrageous here. If you look at this candles, let's go to the, actually I'm going to go to the 1 minute chart, make Mac happy. Get rid of bars, or sometimes it can get a little out of hand. But you can see here nothing out of control on the buy side. No extraneous bounces. Pretty much what we have now on the 1 minute at least is for kind of like a ascending triangle, which is a bearish formation in this situation. So we have this. We have very high volume here on the sell side. Very very minimal volume on the buy side. Eli's up. Heard me talking something. What's up, Eli? What are you talking about? All right. Anywho, so yeah, so we can break up from this, but again, I'm not sure if we go straight to 7 or 8,000. I did kind of get distracted there. So let's talk about a couple prevailing market theories from here. Okay, so now that you know what all these trend lines mean. All right, another thing we talked about in the past here has been the fact that we've had a series of lower highs, continuous lower highs, and aggressive lower highs. These are really nothing to, dismiss. These are very, very normalized highs. Sorry, my kids are bouncing in the room here. So before you can even think about 7,000, number one, we have to retrace this move, which right now on the daily, it doesn't really necessarily look like it's going to have a huge bounce like that. But we need to get through this level and through this level, and that's going to be difficult, especially after a move like this. This is a pretty aggressive move here. So I think the thing to watch is to see if we're going to undertake this low. If not, we need to break above whatever the high is on one of these 1 minute charts. This level right there, 62.45. That's kind of right now. If we start breaking above that, then that means this probably was just a spike low, and then we're going to reverse. But I think right now, the way the chart's lining up, that's kind of the line in the sand. So I didn't really give you a major answer to that, Johnny. 6K did hold. It absolutely did hold. I'm going to say if it gets up here to 62.45, you need to see how it reacts on the way up here to 62. 6,500 essentially from where it broke down. Because if you get up here towards 65, we can fail again without any major problems. So that's kind of how I'm viewing that right now. We need to get above that was it 62.45 or whatever. See if we can get above there. Otherwise, if we just chop and consolidate down here, it probably just leads to lower action. And yeah, guys, smash that like button. Had a few people mention that already. I'd appreciate that. Subscribe if you guys haven't subscribed already. And yeah, leave comments, share it. YouTube likes all that stuff. And if you guys are here enjoying the content, please go ahead and do those things. I'd appreciate that. Monkeytron says, it's a bear flag. The lower wick isn't that bad. You're right, it is not that bad. As we just talked about, there's no major launch of BACT. What's this BACT thing? I think this is some scam coin. Jay, I'm not sure if you're a real person or not, but I'm not sure about BAKKT. I'm not quite sure about that. All right, let's see what we got here down lower. Johnny B says, yeah, short at 65 with a 5x leverage, so was wondering to close or not. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I would... I don't know if I'd necessarily close it here. Like I said, I think that level right there, if it can get above that, then maybe we're going to go into a reversal. There is a possibility this is a bottoming candle. Okay, there's definitely a possibility that this is a bottoming candle. Again, support at 6,000. But we need to see what this consolidation does. If this, lower volume consolidation like this definitely indicates continuation. This is typically a bear flag. I don't know what is BACT. Let me look it up. Honest with you, I really have no idea. Why do I have a... No, I don't know what BACT is. I don't care. Look, 99% of these are all BS, so... What is this one? Yes, BACT has a website. We talk about cryptos every day in the Power Hour. No one's once has mentioned BACT, so... And either way, it's not going to make a difference in terms of price. Looks like it's a wallet or something like that. Why are you guys so surprised by this? I don't know what BACT is. Did they send a mail to everyone or something? Did I miss an email? So I've seen BACT around in my comments and stuff, but to be honest with you, you guys know how many cryptocurrencies get thrown at me every single week? Every single week. Probably about 10. Oh, it's the NYSE exchange? Okay. All right, well, I'll take a look at it later on. It's another cryptocurrency exchange? Okay. All right, big whoop. It's a cryptocurrency exchange. Congratulations, you're one of 70. One of 70 cryptocurrency exchanges. So, what is a real crypto? That is true. That is very true. What is a real crypto? Real crypto is a guy that I don't get caught up in the muck, guys. I look at charts, I look at price action. That pretty much tells me everything I need to know. So we've been doing this a long time now, guys. You guys know how long we've been here. We've been talking charts for well over a year now. And there have been about 3 news articles that have been pertinent to trading. That's about it. The rest of it, who cares? It's garbage. It doesn't mean anything. Okay. Most recently, the XRP pump that happened, which we telegraphed damn near perfectly in the community over here. A lot of members did, not just me. XRP, we had the EOS mainnet launch. That was huge. And the other one also was a Ripple event, was the XRP pump after they finally announced they legitimately had all of their tokens in a trust. That's it. Other than that, I don't care. Don't care at all. Sorry if that offends some of you guys, but It's okay. It's okay. So I do remember hearing something about an exchange being put on by the Nasdaq or the CBOE or something like that, but really, that's about it. I mean, what do I care? What do I need to know? When I need to know something, it'll be brought to my attention. I'm not going to go sit there and scour Reddit for 45 hours trying to find some news. I don't need that in my life. I've got a family. I trade stocks. I trade cryptos. Pretty damn full life. I don't need to know what BOCT is. So okay, so someone says, Joseph, good questions. Let's find Joseph's good questions. Let's see here. How are we here listening to someone that doesn't know what BOCT is? Well, there's an X button at the top of your browser. You can click that, and that'll solve that problem. It's pretty simple. So you can go ahead and click that X button right up there. If you're gonna judge me based on that, that's your problem, not mine. All right, guys, we're done with that. Pronounced backed. Fair enough. All right, fair enough. Okie dokie. All right, guys. All right, so here we go. So we got Bitcoin on the 15-minute chart. We got what appears to be a type of a bear flag potentially going lower there. Bitcoin Cash actually, I was looking at Bitcoin Cash, had a huge movement, pulled up pretty good. This had probably the biggest percentage movement. So if you guys are maybe looking to short, consider Bitcoin Cash, as it tends to have larger movements than BTC. ETH has done pretty well in terms of that. On BitMEX, which I know a lot of people trade on. So yeah, Ethereum actually down quite significantly. BitMEX has been a big problem today, guys. That platform, I don't think they've updated in the last 6 months, to be quite honest with you. I just don't think they've updated. I think they've just flat out given up, and they're just eating their profits, because I don't see a major improvement in that platform whatsoever. The only thing I see is it pausing whenever the market actually makes a real move, which doesn't really help the. Thanks, Mel. Fareed, what's up, buddy? Mexican Charlie Lee, later, buddy. Have a good one. Would you short BTC at the current price of 63.25? Well, it depends on what exchange you're on, because on Coinbase it's 6,200. So look, if you wanted to short here, I don't think that's necessarily the worst idea. You do have a natural stop here, right here, just over these recent highs. So if you do want to short right there, you got about a 1% stop loss. That's not too bad. I'm not really mad at that if you're looking at shorting right there. Yeah, I wouldn't be too mad at that if you want to short that. I actually took a short on Bitcoin Cash again because of the fact that it is more highly volatile than a lot of the cryptos during these sell-offs. And I do like this consolidation for a continuation, so I did take a short position in Bitcoin Cash. Hopefully that plays out. Stop loss Freed, I think I just mentioned that it was just over these highs here. It looks like while you're talking. So, somewhere around the 63.80 level, 63.75 level, that would be a pretty good stop loss, I think. Eli wants me to check BitConnect. Can I even pull that up anymore? I think I just have to sit on. You're killing me. You're killing me. Aeon is a screaming buy, says Donaldo. Well, let's take a look. All right, Freed, see you tomorrow at the Power Hour too, buddy. Thanks. Let's look at those Power Hour coins. Let's see if anything's still green today, or green today at all. Power's up 4%. These are all the coins we go over every day, guys, in the Power Hour. Jay Diaz, what's up, buddy? Yeah, it has been a long time. Like I say, mostly my fault, because I really haven't been around that much. James is looking at a measured move on Bitcoin to the downside. Well, let's take a look at what that would look like. What would a measured move be from here? Let's just take it from here and let's not get too exaggerated. That would take us. I thought we've already been down to 6,000. Bitcoin dollar on Bitfinex. Didn't we already come down? Oh, this is. What the heck? That's not right. We've already been to 6,000. Okay, now I'm just confused. I thought we bounced off 6,000. Or was that only on Coinbase? Only Coinbase bounced off 6,000. That is interesting. That is very interesting. I've seen that. We've seen this before. Coinbase likes to do this, guys. I don't know why. Coinbase has these large moves in both directions. We saw it at 20,000. Coinbase hit 20,000 twice. No other exchange did. And now Coinbase is hitting basically 6,000 down here, while you got Bitfinex here that stopped at, what is that, 62.50? And then we got, I think this is Binance. Yeah, Binance stopped at 62.50. So maybe we're going to get another move to the downside back to 6,000, and then we'll kind of have to see what happens at there. BitMEX bounced to, okay, BitMEX too. Okay, gotcha. That's weird. That's very strange. Looks like whatever price action occurred more extensively on Coinbase. Maybe that's where a majority of the selling happened. Usually it'll start on BitMEX due to some kind of a dump. But I wonder. So there's an interesting. If you think of the cryptocurrency trading and all the different exchanges, they're basically gears in the same cog, if you will. So when one turns, the other turns, and the other turns. So when you think about it, maybe the selling starts in Coinbase. They liquidate those BitMEX shorts, and we watched in the Slack chat room, we watched BitMEX, at least if I was watching Ethereum, have a 10 million liquidation on the sell side. And so maybe Coinbase triggers the sells in BitMEX, or those liquidations, which triggers other liquidations, which pretty much triggers this entire cycle. So it's pretty interesting how that can that can run around right there. Non-margin trading move, interesting. Yeah, it is interesting. It's funny. I'm not going to mention who, but I was talking with another Power Hour member today, and they were saying that it's like fourth party information now, but they actually know a whale that has made like 15,000 BTC last year or something like that, and they plan on selling when Bitcoin gets to a higher level. I'm not going to mention the amount, but something I heard through the grapevine, and that just proves to people that there's people out there with many different strategies, and the whales have the same thoughts and hopes and fears as we all do. Okay, so just because someone is a whale, or you think whales can't do this or whales can't do that, that generally doesn't lead to good decisions on your part. So just trade the charts, guys. Don't really worry about the whales and stuff. All right, so what do we got here? Yeah, just continuation. You're still living in this little bear flag. Ethereum flagging out right there. Very declining volume. XRP actually pumping a little bit there. That's interesting. XRP actually let us lower, at least gave us the clue. We were talking about this morning, and actually even yesterday too, the failure for this rally to go anywhere after we kind of broke this trend line right there. That failure to bounce higher, I mean, it didn't bounce at all. It just rolled right over immediately. That was kind of showing how weak the market was. We were also looking at a bunch of coins that were actually making moves yesterday into today that, we're like, okay, is XRP going to show us the way? The large cap coins, because these were all looking bearish, or we had some of these smaller cap coins looking bullish. So big cap coins win again, ladies and gentlemen. Big cap coins win again. All right, so is there any names you guys are looking at for buy or sell side? Just kind of curious, see if you guys want to look at anything. Steve's looking at NEM. What's up, Eduardo? MDA BTC? Well, right now, Eduardo, I don't think I like anything. I don't think I like anything. NEM's up here in our top 20 against USD. I'm going to look at it against USD, Steve. If you want me to check it out against Bitcoin, I will. But we do most of our charting in the top 20 coins against US dollars to keep things consistent. So we've had this line on NEM here for a while. We noted this trend line. It broke yesterday. This is actually when we drew this trend line. We had this. and this, and we broke that. NEM right here, volume isn't necessarily super extensive right there. So I don't know, maybe if the market goes good, it'll have a nice bounce back. But I generally hate NEM. It's burned me every single time I've ever tried to trade it. Now, granted, that was in 2017. I haven't really touched it since. NEM is just a horribly trading coin if you're long it. That's my general personal feeling about NEM. A drop in NEM to me is a perfect natural reaction to any market situation. Ralph's looking at IOTA right there, or Raphael, excuse me, looking at IOTA right there. Let's check out IOTA. Where are you? There you are. Down 9% against the dollar today. So, hang on a second, guys. Going to take a drink. All right, thanks. All right, so IOTA. So we were noting pretty much almost every cryptocurrency at some point in time in the past 2 weeks has had this nice flat action going on right there. Very tight sideways behavior. Usually is bullish behavior. Usually it reeks of something looking to break out. Usually not looking to break down if you're going sideways for a considerable amount of time. And IOTA started the move up. Breaking down lower, undercutting this whole level here. I'm not really happy with IOTA. At this moment in time, I'm pretty sure that all coins are going to have a very similar 2 bars on my 2-hour chart right here. But yeah, not really happy with IOTA. If you're a bottom buyer, which I am not, maybe you're interested down here towards these prior support levels. But no major lows have been undercut. I think on any coin, as a matter of fact. So, you know what? I'm going to do this real quick. Let's just kind of walk through these top 20, something we would typically do in the power hour, and see like longer term, you know. So we have Bitcoin undertaking these lows, but not undercutting those lows. So that definitely shows some relative weakness in Bitcoin. We got Ethereum not undercutting these lows. Again, still showing not really strength in that level, but not undercutting those lows. And I mean, it's not significantly higher. Only about 17, looks like about 20% off the lows. XRP, we already know had a huge pump right there. That's going to be well off the lows. But undercutting this low here, I think, is crucial for XRP. It's going to be a while before this thing comes back. You got Bitcoin Cash, which, let's see, maybe there's a trend line right there we can draw. We can draw a trend line, and it's already been broken. So Bitcoin Cash essentially breaking that trend. We'll see if it's just a spike low. But like I said, the way things are looking at right now, it doesn't really appear to be just a one and done. All right, XLM, also well above lows right there, but undercutting a major symmetrical triangle right there and undercutting it very, very deeply. Coming back down to this little level here. All right, Steve, we'll get to NEM in a second. I'll take a look at your comments there, buddy. All right, so we got EOS that dropped right out there. EOS was one of the coins we were looking at really heavily today to go long, and it just didn't work out. It never broke to the upside. I was sitting there with my finger on the trigger for a while, and it just never did it, so I never pulled the trigger. And good thing I didn't, because the whole market reaction just really took this thing out. Shook EOS out. It did come down to this little trend line I have right there. Still above that, so we're not broken yet, but this is a scary market situation. If we don't break overnight, we probably will reverse back up in a lot of these, if not the main names, at least a lot of the altcoins. Litecoin not looking good at all. I view Litecoin as the sentiment indicator for Bitcoin, and you can just generally tell right here. Litecoin, we talked about it in this channel. Broke the channel. Now we had this sideways channel we've been watching. Killed that. Again, Litecoin sentiment indicator for Bitcoin, guys. No, the stock market did not shake up the crypto market. They are not correlated. Not yet. Maybe they will be one day, but I don't think they are today. Cardano. We were looking at a very nice cup with handle in Cardano here, kind of waiting for that one to break out as well. We had an alert level up here. And actually, no, on Cardano versus Bitcoin, we dropped the alert level down a little bit to this level, but never tried it. And actually fully undercutting the cup. This is a broken chart. Now that's going to take a long time to come back. Monero. We were really hoping Monero was going to get going and show the market a direction. Maybe it did. Maybe it is right now. You've got Monero right now moving lower earlier than most of the other coins. Monero led us up out first, ladies and gentlemen. Monero has this long-term trend line. Let's show you on the daily chart. So Monero has this long-term trend line. It's had ever since the top. We broke that to the upside, and we said, okay, maybe we're starting to get a little bit more bullish overall in the market because Monero is a very good quality coin. It's pulled back just about as much as Bitcoin, and Bitcoin hasn't pulled back near as much as a lot of the other altcoins. And Monero very tight sideways, hoping it was going to get up. We had an alert level set right there, and big break right now, fully overtaking the earlier bar in the previous 2-hour candle. That's an interesting development in my opinion. That shows weakness in the market to me. If XMR is weak, the market's going to be weak. All right, so we already talked about IOTA. Dash, at least in the power hour, we were kind of noting this trend line there, and it was trying to challenge it, and you kind of see why. No major volume there, though. Not major volume, higher volume, but not major. Tron coming back, still respecting that trend line. Nothing crazy going on right there, but it did take out and pretty much wipe out all of those gains. Bullish RSI on ETH, 1 minute. Finex. Zoom out on that MEL to a 5 and a 15 and let me know what they say. The 1 minute, little too choppy. Mexican Charlie Lee. I thought I was much more informed in the crypto world, but the fact I don't know what's going on in regard to Backed is huge right now in this space makes me sad. Well, I'm sorry, Mexican Charlie Lee. I'm sorry to disappoint you, buddy. I just don't know what to say. I mean, I've been trading a very, very long time, and that's pretty much why I have my channel. I don't have it because I know everything technically with crypto. I do try to stay up to date on the news, but you know what? Hey, I can't know everything. I can't know everything. I have heard of BAKKT before. I didn't really know what it was. Like I said, I get 10, 20 coins thrown at me every week or 2 weeks, and none of them are valuable. So when I see something, unless I have a reason to look at it, I really don't look at it. So I know you've been here a long time. That's why I'm responding to your comment. I appreciate your comment. And I know you've been hanging out here a long time. So I'm sorry if that makes you sad. If it wouldn't make you sad, maybe you could educate me a little bit, and that would make me happy. That would be very cool. Instead of just, and this happens a lot. Sometimes people say, you don't know this, you don't know that. Guys, I can't know everything. I don't sit here all day scouring the news, or any day. I never scour the news. I never scour the news, ever. I look at charts. If I see something's pumping, and then someone says, oh yeah, that's pumping because of this. And if some news happens and it doesn't have a pump, I'm really not that interested. So anyway, I know everyone wants me to get off that topic, but Mexican Charlie's been around here a long time. I figure I owed him a response there. Chris says capitulation coming. Could be. Definitely could be. This could be the first kind of straw in the camel's back. Like I said earlier, I was talking about the major narrow. I was going to make a video called the flattening of crypto, the flattening of Bitcoin, and now I don't get to make that video. It was going to be a fun video, but this could be the first break. It doesn't have to break today. It doesn't have to break tomorrow, but it could. It could go. It could drop, go sideways, drop, go sideways. It could stair step lower. It doesn't have to break immediately. But this is a bad break, and the fact we're not really bouncing yet doesn't sit super well with me, to be honest with you. It doesn't give me a whole ton of hope. All right, Ethereum Classic. We've noted this has really been rolling over lately, moving over. BNB, we've had this big old rounded top in BNB for quite some time. Just so you guys know, if you see my chart here, for those of you not in the power hour, each of these ticks and hash marks, vertical hash marks, is a day. It's just so you guys know the time scale. I'm looking at a 2-hour chart. Each of these is a day. And I kind of like that. That way I know how many days I'm looking back. I had someone ask me once, why do you look at the 2-hour chart? You can't get a good long-term picture. I'm like, I got like 3 months worth of information here. That's pretty good picture. All right, so BNB rolling over right there. Looks like it's respecting a longer-term trend line going back to this level. Yeah, it's still respecting that, so nothing major broken there as of yet. And that's one thing right now that we may be able to turn around from, the fact we haven't broken a lot of these longer-term trend lines. That is a positive in this situation. NEM has broken that trend line. You know how I feel about NEM. VET, you're breaking my heart. Did come back to the low right there if you're interested in VET. We were really looking for VET to do something. It had very low volume, and it started to get going a little bit, and then failed and kept our alert level right there and just never hit it again. Doge is actually down a little bit. Doge is yes, it's a high market cap coin. That's why I'm tracking it there. But yeah, not doing much in Doge. Zcash. Come on, TradingView. You can do it. Why do I have a feeling that my chart's not updating over here? BitMEX is garbage. Just garbage. All right. Z Classic there. Look at that big break to the downside. Not really interested in going higher. Oh, Misego broke our trend line there, members. There you go, guys. Bitcoin Gold. Unfortunately, I have to look at Bitcoin Gold, and that's Bitcoin Gold. BCN. Oh, I didn't click on BCN. Lower. And LISK, which we added to our spreadsheet. Finally put an alert level on it. It was starting to curl up, maybe do something good, and the chart's just broken from there. Johnny B says, strange that your analysis made it look like the dump was initiated on Coinbase. Dump started at 9:30 Asia time. Imagine most Coinbase users are in the US and not Asia. I can't say for certain, Johnny B, that it started at Coinbase. I can't say that for certain. I'm sorry if I made it seem that way. That wasn't my intent. It was just kind of, my theory was this. This is my general theory. Coinbase is about $110, $120 cheaper than these other exchanges. It also had a low that was lower than Bitfinex and a lot of other exchanges. This one's low was $62.50. This got down to $6,000. So my thought process was that it sold off very hard enough so that so if the selling started on Coinbase, it's obviously going to have a heavier effect on Coinbase than it will on these other exchanges. That's why this had the very low print. And that's the reason why I thought maybe it started on Coinbase. I hope that makes sense. Pack up your PC, store your crypto in cold storage, then re-enter this market when backed is launch or on ETF approval. Not sure about either of those. All right, guys. Cool. So thanks for joining me today, guys. We've got kind of an interesting market situation. Let's go back to the 15-minute. We've been talking about trying to get over this level for a potential reversal in BTC if we get that. Let's go down to the 1 minute even. I don't do this too often, but volume aggregation tool getting positive there. I'm sure that's what you're seeing there in your, was it RS? Was it, who was that, Mac? Was that Mac? Was that you? Mexican Charlie Lee, I'm not seeing your backed post up there. YouTube does not let you post links in chat. There's nothing I can do about that. So if you put like a space between, or just eliminate.com and put a space there or something, we could do that. Oh, it was Mel. Okay. Sorry, Mel, Mac, to be honest with you, just between the one digit, I get them confused. So right there, poking towards the highs. This would be a better place to put that short on if you want to, Mel, I think. You got right there about a 0.5% stop loss if you want it right there. If you want that. That wouldn't be too bad. We got Ethereum. Again, very flattening volume. Price curling up right there. That's, that's I like those curls. You guys know that. 1 minute mail, absolutely. I should probably remember that. Trying to get a little bullish here. Let's see if the bears will let it. They may just come in and slap it right back down. So there's a whole thing about this backed, and I'm not. This has nothing to do with about me knowing about backed or not, but it doesn't really matter what the news that comes out is, what will save the market is time. Time is really the only thing that will end the bear market. It'll end when it's ready, and there's no news event that can really cause that. It's the sentiment of the entire market that will save us. Okay, it's not one thing. Everyone's looking, and you guys remember back in January? Remember the Chinese New Year? That's 10 months ago. I had everyone telling me I was stupid. I was stupid saying we were going lower because the Chinese New Year was going to come in and save us. Like literally, people were calling me stupid, and I was telling them the same thing I'm telling you today, and that's strictly because it's true. It's the way markets work. Markets are created and thrive because of investors, and the more investors, the more thriving the market's going to be. The more important herd psychology is. The herd psychology of markets doesn't state that a news event will save us. No. The herd psychology of market states, F you, I'm here for me, and that's it. And millions of people think the same way. And until those millions of people's minds change, okay, the YouTube community here, you guys on YouTube that are here day in and day out looking at different guys, we're only a small segment of that community, of that trading ecosystem. We're not the whole thing. If you want that short, may as well take that quick. Yeah, right. Cool Frost. What's up, buddy? Sorry, I kind of got off my high horse there. But yeah, no specific event, and I don't care if it's Barzar has selling at the top of the channel. And Barzar's got a lot of selling right there at the top. Yep, that's a kind of a low volume, weird candle. It'll probably go back up again a little bit. We'll have to see. But yeah, really, what saves the market, guys, it's straight up time. It's just straight up time. That's it. It's not necessarily technical action. It's not even capitulation. It's straight up time. It doesn't matter if it's sideways, down. It's just time. Okay, whenever the market's washed of all the sellers is when we will go back up. And it has nothing to do with a news event. It has nothing to do with anything. And now I know what I was saying. This YouTube community, guys, is small. Okay, it may seem we're stuck in this loop in YouTube a little bit. I have a feeling. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. So those of you fortunate enough to be here tonight, if no one's told you this, you guys are stuck in a feedback loop. Okay? Get outside the feedback loop and do some different analysis, because being stuck in a bubble, presidents are famous for being stuck in a bubble. They eventually just lose all touch with reality. Because they're stuck in an office with 12 layers of Secret Service agents. They don't know anything about what's going on in the real world after like the first year. They have no idea. So we're stuck in a YouTube bubble, and all the members of the YouTube community keep saying the same thing over and over again. Just because they say it over and over again doesn't mean it's true. Okay? 6,000 doesn't have to be the low. 6,000 can be just a pause level. We can be at 6,000 for the next 6 months. We could be down here for the next 6 months. All right, let me get to some comments. Let me get off my high horse here. Mudanuri, did I say that correctly? Is this move possessed? Do you think it would be right time to get into the market? Me personally, no. Like, I'm not personally going to get into the market right here. But look, to each their own. And I'm not exactly sure what your time frame is there, but if you're looking to buy for a very extended period of time, let's go back to the daily. We were in the power hour. Where was it? We were 6,400 here. We were right there, 6,400 and change, right towards the bottom part of this channel. And I said, look, if you guys want to buy for the really long term at about 6,400, I'm not really mad at that. The reason being because we're really close to the 6,000 level. Really, and even this is even better because we're another 3% lower. We're really close to the 6,000 level, or I should say 5,850. So push come to shove, you can ditch this if it does break down, and you're only down 10%. And if you're looking for a hodl position, if you're going to take 1 or 2 trades a year, I wouldn't take that trade, but if you were so inclined, I'm not going to be too mad at you. But I do think you need to have an area where you're going to exit, whether it be to the short side or to the profit taking side. Chris is correct. I would generally say wait for confirmation. Absolutely, I would definitely say that. But I do try to address. See that there's people that won't do that, Chris. And I'm trying to address to those people that won't do that. Those people that want to hodl and just want to forget about Bitcoin is too much stress. And I can't blame them. This is a stressful market. It's a very stressful market. If you're not super on top of it, it'll eat you alive. It'll eat you alive, especially if you can't be on top of it, if you're a little lazy, if you don't care that much but want to be involved. There's not guys that really want that confirmation. And but look, if you want to hodl from these levels, like I said, I would have a stop. Darn it. Let me switch to my good mouse. Okay, it's working today. I would definitely have a stop down here at about 7% lower if you want those hodl positions. Okay? If you want those hodl positions, I would still have a stop down here. I would still have that stop. But, if it comes down here and curls back up, that's a good thing. I don't know if we're going to get too much lower than this trend line right there. Just the way things are looking. And if we do go lower, I think we're gone. That's my general consensus. Hodl from 3K is best. I pretty much concur with that assessment. All right, what about 3K, 4K prediction, says Eli. All right. Eli's calling me out here. That's pretty dope. Good job, Eli. So, okay, 3K, 4K prediction. So I've had that on the books since December. Yes, December. I've had that on the books since about December. And that is based off of 85 to 86% retracement from the all-time high, which had happened pretty much in every bull market in Bitcoin in the past. That has always been between 82 and 86%, I believe, is where we stand. If you go over here to Coinigy and you look at all of these charts, if you do that analysis, it ends up with you being down about 86%. Okay? Right there. 86%. So that's based on that. It's not based on anything other than that. It doesn't have to do that. It can stop right here. But to be honest with you, I still think we do go lower. I just do. I know some people are looking for a shakeout here, another shakeout. I mean, it's always another shakeout. Depending on what side you're on, you're waiting for another shakeout. When we had this high and came down here, I was looking for another shakeout to the upside, right? And then we came down here and I said, maybe we have more bounce. And we have kind of a little bit more bounce. So it's just one of those situations here. If this is it, guys, it's about frickin' time. That's all I got to say. I'm sick of waiting. I'm sick of waiting. Everyone's so sick of waiting, guys. You realize it's been basically 11 months since we topped. Do you realize that? 11 months. That's amazing. And we're still above 6,000. If you would have asked me in March, where would we be in October, I probably would have said like 5,000, 4,000 is probably what I would have said. I probably wouldn't have said 6,000. Probably would not have said 6,000. So this trend line right here to me was very, very important, and I think to a lot of other people. When we finally broke that trend line, when we had these two consolidations here, I thought we were stair-stepping into lower levels. And the fact that we did not stair-step into lower levels here, to me says that there's obviously some more bullishness here, which is why recently, especially with this flat action, I've been like, look, man, we can break in either direction. And there's definitely a case for a bull, definitely a case for a bear. We just happen to break to the downside first. The question is this a shakeout? Is this a bear trap? That is the main question. I don't have a great answer to that one right now, to be honest with you. But like if we go to the lower term time frames, if we reverse here immediately out of this consolidation, obviously it's a bear trap. in my opinion. I mean, I think we would be done. We could still fall, even if we get up here towards 6,500, we could still fall. But if we get back above this level here, which is even only 6,550, it's not an extraordinary large number from 6,500. But if we get above that in Bitcoin, this is definitely a shakeout. And if you want to play that shakeout for the long side, you buy it, you put your stop down here. Got a 3% stop. If you think we're going to the downside, you can short here, and you got yourself a 1% stop, 0.5% stop. There's trades in both directions, guys. It just matters which way you want to go, to be honest with you. That's it. And that's it right there. If you want to wait for confirmation, wait for confirmation. You know, other people are just gonna take their positions. Nothing I can do about that. I'm not gonna talk anyone out of those positions. People should have sold near top of last year, says Lewis. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everyone should sell at the top. Everyone should buy at the bottom. And look, guys, if you want a low print, a historically low print in Bitcoin, this is one of them. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Look at where this red line is. We've this low area, this low area, this low area. This has been a historical low area for Bitcoin. The problem is the highs are still getting lower. So I'm not necessarily I don't know. I'm kind of torn, to be honest with you. I'm kind of torn down here. Although that's some nice volume down there, man. If this thing continues lower, this is going to be beautiful. Just going to be beautiful. All right, let's see what some chat's got here. The more it hits that line, we might break it. Absolutely, Kevin. The more times the trend line is hit, the more likely it is to break. I've heard people say otherwise. They're wrong. And not a lot of things I'll literally hang my hat on. That's one of them. The more times the trend line's broken, the more likely it is to be. The more times the trend line is tested, the more likely it is to be broken. That is absolutely true. Absolutely true. But first, we got to get under this trend line right there. So if we can't get under that trend line and we reverse higher here, then take your positions here for the route to the upside there. So I will wait for confirmation. If I wanted to buy here, I would wait for that confirmation, even if it is on that 15-minute time frame. I would wait for that confirmation before I got in. All right, Chris has a trading plan. Anybody with a trading plan, I like it. That's all I got to say about that. You don't need to take my strategy. As long as you have your own strategy and work it, that's fantastic. Michael says they could say that about both trend lines. Both have been evenly touched. I'm assuming you're referring to this longer-term trend line. So I guess that would be true. I guess that could be true. This could be a trend line. The main difference to me is this is a horizontal levels are how do I put this? They're not more important. They tend to be where price wants to break. If you've got a horizontal level that's being tested multiple times, that's usually where it wants to go. It usually wants to go on that level. Now, if you have a sideways channel, obviously that's a little bit of a different situation. Okay, then that's called a choppy market. But usually, if you have a horizontal level of price where it continues to come down to or up to. Now, if this was inverted, so this is what's called a descending triangle with a descending trend line. If this were an ascending triangle with an ascending trend line, that would mean we're continually hitting the top and waiting to break through it. Okay, that means the selling pressure is abating. Here, the buying pressure is abating before we go lower. So a lot of people say, who would sell Bitcoin down here? Apparently a lot of people, because we're perfectly happy living down in this low area. If this were a bargain, we wouldn't be down here. And that's the general consensus. If this were, we wouldn't be down here if this were a bargain. Randy, there's only 21 million BTC. Actually, there's like 17 to 18 million. 4 million are said to be lost and gone forever. There's not enough BTC for every millionaire in this world to have one whole BTC. That's fine. There's not enough shares of, name a stock for enough people to have it. Doesn't mean it's going to go up necessarily. I definitely agree, supply and demand. Look, I'm a long-time believer of Bitcoin, but that has nothing to do with the price action right here on the chart. So, right here. Nothing to do with that. That little area right there, nothing. Nothing at all to do with that. Show me one area on the chart where the liquidity of Bitcoin has caused price movement. One area. You won't find it. It's not possible. We trade charts, we don't trade floats. So, that's about it. Eduardo says, if we capitulate between down to 5 to 3K, does that mean we stay sub 6K for a few months? Absolutely. If we break, guys, if we break 3K, or I'm sorry, if we break 6K, we're probably done. We're probably going to stay below 6K for the rest of the year. I think. I mean, it's only 2 months. It's not a long time. But yeah, we're probably going to stay down below there. You're probably not going to spike below and come immediately back up above 6K. It doesn't seem very logical. After all of this work, look at all of this work right here. This is a lot of work that people have been trying to sell. And so if they sell this is going to take a lot of wind out of the bulls. Just honesty right now. I got 275 people in this room. Complete honesty, and I would appreciate everyone answer here. Okay? If you're a bull, if you're a bear, don't answer this. If you are a bull and it legitimately, like, search your hearts of hearts. If this goes below my 57.75 line here on high volume, are you likely to buy? Are you likely to buy between 5,000 and 57.50? Just reply with yes. Like, literally, I'm curious how many people here who are bulls, not if you're a bear, reply yes if you would buy. Just arbitrarily. Hello? Okay. Sorry, guys. I guess I was muted. I thought I was reading, but I was muted. Yeah, my USB cable sometimes flips out. I think I tapped it with my foot. I use this time to go to the bathroom. I wish. Okay, so I saw about a 65% yes. I think about a 65% yes. I saw a lot of hell no's. I saw one guy said he was cost averaging down. Green candle on the 30-minute bull market is back. Just kidding. No, I actually was muted. I pulled up my streaming software. I had no audio volume at all, so thanks for mentioning that. So, yeah, I mean, going through here, I think there was... So, yeah, thanks, guys, for doing that. I appreciate that. We've got... so if somebody wants to count that for me, it'll be really boring if I do that, but I'm really curious. Because here's the thing. Like, here's one guy says he'll be upset, but yes, I will buy because I understand the upside. That's fine. That's fine. So if we break this on high volume, it's probably... if we break this, it's pretty obvious to me we're going sub 5K. If we break this 57.50. Pretty obvious we're going sub 5K. Like I said, I think we're about 60% yes. I could be wrong about that. Looking at this again, it looks like there's more no's than I initially saw. If somebody wants to count that, I really would appreciate that. I really don't quite have, you guys don't want me to count that, I'm sure. Greg Walker says 4,800. So everyone's got maybe a level they're interested in. So really the question is this. As we go lower, let's say we break. Let's just say we break, okay? If that happens, we bounce here, we go up a little bit, we kind of chop around here, we go lower, and then we're probably going to break pretty soon. We break hard right there, okay? Now, like I said, I hope you guys searched your hearts of hearts and gave me an honest answer. Some people think they would, but haven't really searched their soul yet. Sometimes it's hard to do that. It's called catching a falling knife is really what it's called. And after such a major break, such a major consolidation, this is very likely to continue lower. I mean, I don't know how it's going to take. Probably get an up thrust, probably get a down thrust right there. Maybe it'll move lower. But as we get lower here, the market sentiment, the market, the market sentiment will definitely shift. There will be a point here where a lot of bulls, and I don't know if it's here, I don't know if it's here, and this is what ends up making capitulation occur. Right? And yes, capitulation happens in a loop. This is what makes capitulation occur. All the bulls that bought here are sitting down 20% here and sell, and then some more people buy and they sell, and then the people that bought here finally sell here. People that bought here finally sell here, and the people that bought all the way up here finally sell way down here, thinking the market's gone to crap, and it's never coming back. It's a purely emotional decision. It's a purely emotional decision. There's nothing logical about it. That's why I said search your hearts of hearts, because I can tell you right now, I will not buy Bitcoin if it breaks this level until I see a capitulation. If that breaks, it's capitulation, period. I just don't see another way out of the market. Now, going from here at 6,000, if we don't break 6,000, don't get lower than this 58 or 5850 level, whatever exactly that is. If we go sideways from here, then we're in a choppy market scenario. Then remember I mentioned earlier the time component to investing and to getting out of a bear market, then that comes into play. If we break here, you can reset that clock. You can give it more time. Okay, because we're going to end up in a low area for some time. Okay, that's pretty much how that's going to work. That's pretty much how that's going to work out. Kevin says 59%. Yes, thank you, Kevin. I was right about 60%. Wow, that's pretty good. Mexican says not going to break much lower under 6K. Manipulators won't allow it. Okay, so can you tell me who these manipulators are and how you got that information? 18 no, 26 yes. Okay. So you can see right there, I mean, 60% said yes, and I'm going to be honest with you, I think half of you are lying. I think half of you think you would buy, but I think maybe not half of you, but a good amount of people won't buy. And so this is what generally happens. I won't say will happen, I won't say will happen. And honestly, I think it depends on how the break occurs. And I think a lot of people will probably, if you're honest with yourselves, will probably say I'm right in that. It depends how the break occurs. Now, I mentioned on heavy volume, and I think that's the key there. So if you've got this big red candle here, let's say it gets in a week or two, goes down like that. Whoops. There we go. Goes down like that. And then we have volume over here like this. You can tell me that's not going to scare the living crap out of you. That would scare you to death. If you do volume at all, that would just destroy your bullish scenario. And what's going to happen is when the time comes, you're just not going to pull the trigger. And there's a lot of people, not even here, but just generally throughout the world, that while they think they would like that, they're actually not going to pull the trigger, and they're going to wait, and they're going to wait, and they're going to wait, and it's not going to bounce, because guess what? While you're waiting, so is everybody else. So is everybody else. And that is what, what ends up, like I mentioned earlier, the people that bought here will sell here, the people that bought here will sell here, and then it just ends up that everyone, they think, oh, this thing's going to zero, and then they're just going to sell. That's just kind of the way it is. But again, that's all predicated on us getting below this 5850 level, that low line right there. That's all predicated on that action. That's it. I mean, nothing. I'm not saying it's 100% guaranteed to happen. In my mind, I think it's like 70% likely in my mind. About 70% likely. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say right there. Old money wants stable prices. Old money wants stable prices. It's no coincidence we've been trading price action. I don't think there's anything more nefarious than that. You know, nothing at all. Nothing at all. I think if you were to look at like the biggest wallets out there and check their movement, you probably won't see a whole lot of difference. People think there's all these vast conspiracy theories, and there's generally not. I think there's generally not. Conspiracy where a syndicate of traders with big money and infinite BTC supply can do a specific thing with Bitcoin, or whales and other, trading groups and not get the response they want. There's a lot of, there's just so much that would go into that, and there's a lot of unknowns. There's just so many unknowns for those people. It's not. Think about it. If you're worth billions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, why would you screw with this? Why would you go to that extent? Why would you go to that extent? If you're worth that much money, you have a long-term view. So again, the simplest answer is usually the correct one. That's probably a good way of putting it. Chris says, why does everyone keep saying institutions need a lower price to enter? There are no big institutions ever going to touch crypto until regulation comes through. If ever, why would they? Well, it depends on the institution, and generally with the U.S., you are correct. They will not touch crypto natively. That's why they push for the futures. That's why they're looking for the ETF so they can invest on the side, if you will. But some will invest directly, like with personal funds. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll take a look at it, Mexican Charlotte. I will now that I know it's a thing. I'll spend 3 minutes looking into it, and that's all I need to know. I mean, what's so important that I need to know? If it's an exchange, then I'll just go trade on it. If it's better than frickin' BitMEX, that thing is garbage. All right, so Eli mentioned Suitman is 100% right. Let's check out Suitman's comment. There's a bunch just flowed through here. BTC long-term uptrend has not been broken. It's in its history. It would bottom at 4,800 today, 5K the next month or two. So yeah, you're referring to that longer-term trend line, Suitman. Yeah, absolutely. We can go all the way down there without any problems. And I think that probably is a decent bottom area. Like I said earlier, I thought we were really going to break down here because we broke this trend line, had a few consolidations, but we reversed higher instead of breaking lower. If we broke lower, we would probably already be near capitulation, if not have already capitulated, probably near that where I discussed initially about 3,600. But like if you flip this price action on its head and take out the bullishness, pretty much points down right there towards about 3,500. The simplest answers to the most complex problems and making it look easy is the best answer. It also goes with trading strategies. Usually the best trading strategies are the ones you can explain to a 5-year-old. If you can't explain to me in under a minute what your trading strategy is, you probably don't have a good one or it doesn't work very well. That's basically what it is. If you need like 17 indicators in order to clue you in onto a trade, unless you're one of those rare individuals that can do that, most people have a very simple trading strategy. And everything in life, the most simplest explanation is usually true, usually works the best. So, yeah. So, all right, guys. Thanks for joining me. So, just going to talk about my Real Crypto Power Hour for a little bit. We've got quite a few Power Hour members here today. So, every single day we do a live stream session, except for Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week. First 3 days I've ever taken off in the Power Hour. We do it every single day between starting at 9 a.m. Arizona time, and we go over the market. Bitcoin, we track about 80 coins every single day. We have alerts that you can get in our Slack chat room. If you go to our Slack chat room, that's actually the chat room itself is a free service. The alerts based off of this spreadsheet here. Here's all of our alert levels. These are only available to the Power Hour members. So if you're so inclined, we go through all of these coins every day and update all of these alert levels if it's warranted every single day. guys. So if you're looking to trade, if you're looking for some good entry points on some coins, we're always adding to this list as well. Very rarely will we subtract the coin. Haven't done that in many months. So if you guys are inclined, you want some alert, some customized alert levels. If you're looking for more analysis on the market, more chat like this, at least join the Slack chat room. You can do that on the home page of my website, real-crypto.com. A lot of the members here tonight are in the chat room right there. It is free. It's a free chat room. Sign up right here on the home page, and you'll get into that immediately. And if you're interested in the in the Power Hour, feel free to check it out in the services. And like I said, I'll be off this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but we do it pretty much 7 days a week. I mean, we do it 7 days a week. So, yeah, if you're interested in that, please go ahead and join. I answer every question that comes my way. And that's about it, guys. So if you have questions about trading, charts, if you want to know about portfolios, if you want to talk about anything, we talk about everything there in the Power Hour. So feel free to join us there. All right, and that is that. All right, what do we got here in the chat? What do we got here in the charts, actually? Let's go back to these smaller term time frames on the 15-minute. We got Bitcoin here edging up towards that prior high. Looks like it's slowly poking above it. Very low volume here. Looks like it probably has already poked above it. Very low volume. You want to see some higher volume as you go through that level. That would actually give you some indication that we're going to go higher, or some, not indication, but that would give you, it'd be like a breakout, right? It'd be like a breakout if you were to have high volume up there. So let's see what we have here. And I'm on the 1 minute, guys. Again, this is a very new development, so I am on the 1 minute. High volume sell-off candle right there. Volume aggregation tool, very flat. See right there, a little bit of green. So quite a bit of green right through there. A ton of red right there. Let's look at the bars are. Okay, bars are showing some selling and some buying here recently. Bars are and volume aggregation tool, both. You also, I have the code for those down there in the Power Hour page. They're also recorded. I get that question from time to time. Those are also recorded. And you pretty much have, going all the way back to March, guys. You've got more real crypto than you ever want. So, I'm not showing that as a selling candle. Bars are does weird stuff like that on occasion. That's definitely a sell candle. I don't know why that's not showing as selling, but it's not. Some decent buying up here. Maybe we'll break out on some good volume again if that does happen. Maybe this is just kind of a one and done. We'll have to wait and see there, or we'll see if it pops up and then drops lower. Someone mentioned Monkeytron mentioned camping. Yeah, I'm going camping this weekend, and what I said is that the market's going to move on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, guaranteed, because I'm going camping. That's pretty much guaranteed. When I don't have access to internet, it's going to move. That's kind of how that works there, ladies and gentlemen. I bet you wake up camping and think, can I get away doing a Power Hour? You know what? The past 2 weeks have been the hardest Power Hours ever, because the market's been so damn dull. I mean, it's just been dull. You hear me yawning a lot. It's just very, very dull action. We caught a few good moves. Like yesterday, if you were on the AE alert, if you were on the, what was that other one? We caught 4 of them yesterday that were up double digits overnight. We had, which one was it? Oh, we got GVT the other day, but it's just been so dull. It's just been so dull. And, just like nothing. And we're just clipping down through all those coins, and it's the same chart over and over and over, just a monotony of going through that many coins. But, it's a great exercise that we do. And every day when I'm done, I'm glad we did it. Every single day. Sunday, Monday, it doesn't matter. Every single day. It's every day when I'm done, it looks like we did a good thing. All right, it looks like failing there a little bit. Remember I said we probably poke up there. We did that. Maybe we're done going up here, guys. If you did want a short, you got a very tight stop right there. If you want a short, I'm not saying you've got a short, Not advocating that. Do your own thing. It's your money. It ain't my money. But yeah, right there. It looks like we failed to go higher so far. Very tight stop loss if you're so inclined. If you're so inclined. I'm not saying you should do that. I'm saying you should consult your financial advisor, guys, because obviously they know what they're doing. I'm just an idiot with a microphone. Your financial advisor, though, yeah, he's going to tell you exactly what to do, right? Because he knows what the hell's going on. I really love that when you have all these places say, seek a financial advisor. You know, most financial advisors are idiots. I will say that right off the bat. I can't tell you how many people that I've run into say, oh, I met a financial advisor, I got invested in this and this and this, and 3 years later their account was up like 3%. I'm like, who the hell's your financial advisor? You're freaking 32 years old. You made 3% in 3 years? The NASDAQ did like 100% in that amount of time. Your account should be tripled right now. Instead, you're up 3%. That literally happened to a friend of mine the other day. Hardcore traders, a financial advisor. Well, hopefully you're not a stupid one. Hopefully you're not a stupid one. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I actually wanted to become a financial advisor. I love money. I mean, just like helping people with money, I think is an awesome thing. Another reason why I really like doing what I do here is I like helping people and keeping them out of trouble, preferably. And Lexi, that's actually why I didn't become a financial advisor. I really couldn't find anywhere that I could go and give unbiased advice. Everybody wanted me to push this or push that or something else. So, you know, I never did it. I never became a financial. I kind of regret that, to be honest with you, because I probably could have found my way into something better. But I never did do that. Stratro, your stock market gap opened at a 1.5% gap? Wow, let's go look at that. Monkeytron, talking about the power hour, guys, and he's 100% right. You said it forces you to go through all the coins and you wouldn't otherwise, and Monkeytron wouldn't either, and it's been super worth it. I agree. I mean, like I said, there's never been a day where I get done with the power hour and been like, that was a waste of time. Not one day. Not one day. It's always been, okay, we got some good stuff out of that, you know. And after going through that many coins, you go, okay, what do we see here? And like we said today at the end of the power hour, right, guys? We said, okay, the top coins looking bearish. Is that leading us, or all of these other altcoins popping 10, 15, 20%? Are those leading us? Because we haven't had a lot of those in the past couple of weeks, but they were starting to break out. They were starting to break out. So it looks like what was happening is they were pumping those to get people into the market, then they dump the big coins. It's a similar through with you know, pumping the Dow to distribute the NASDAQ. So the selling isn't stopping yet. Stratro, which one's your index? The Nifty? I got delayed pre-market action, so I'm not going to be able to see that live, unfortunately. Oh, I want to see that, Stratro. Where you at, buddy? Looks like my wife and my kids are having a blast in the other room. That's awesome. Guys, kids are great. All I got to say. Kids are great. Roy says, last time ETH went from 280 basically straight to 210 with little consolidation. So, yeah, selling can definitely continue. Yeah, it did. I mean, that whole market collapsed. And, I mean, all markets collapsed. I mean, basically, right? And there's the rollover. There's the rollover right there, guys. Yeah, get that short if you want it. I'm actually probably going to add to my short. All right, what should we short here? Should I do Ethereum? That's down 10%, down the most on BitMEX. All these are, yep, I'd probably short Ethereum because everything else is against Bitcoin. See if I can even do it. Oh, I just got a quote. Okay, let's go check it out. I'll probably short Ethereum here, I think. No, my kids are not 17. They're the best ages ever, 7 and 4. Freaking love them to death. They're so awesome. So there's kind of a level. if you can get away with a stop up here by that green candle, I really like to put stops up as high as I possibly can so I don't get shaken out. Because being shaken out sucks. I'm pretty sure you guys will agree with that. 204.13. Let's see if I can... If you guys can hear them, they're just yelling around. That's awesome. I'm going to add to a short here, guys. Just so you know. Tis what it is. Whoa, that's way too much. I hate fat fingering BitMEX. It's the worst feeling in the world. Maybe we'll get a little bit of a pump here. I don't know if I want to do that. Suit Man, yeah, dude, it's so great. It's just so great. There's nothing like it, man. I look at my 4-year-old, and I remember my 7-year-old when he was 4, and I'm like, this is the last time I'm gonna have a 4-year-old in this house until I'm like 60, or I decide to adopt a bunch of kids or something. Yeah, it's just the best. It's just the best. 203.80, 204.80. 203.70. You know what? I think I'll go lower. I think I'll take a smaller position. All right, see if that gets filled. May not. This thing's hanging on a cliff right now. I kind of agree with that. We talked about coming up towards that high, and look at that, just poked right on it. Failed so far. And a bit of a bottoming candle right there. We'll see. That's not a very high volume bottoming candle, though. That's a pretty high volume candle right there. We'll see how that happens. Like I said, guys, only afford to trade what you can lose. If you guys do want to take positions, make sure you know what your stop loss is. Make sure you can afford that and are perfectly comfortable if you take that loss. Because this thing could pop up, shake you out. If you have a very tight stop like this, pop up, shake you out, and continue. So it's just one of those things where you have to be comfortable with your loss, period. Okay. So super tight stop right there. Give me a second. I'm setting up this stop loss. All right, let's do that. Okay. Check out XRP. Does not look good, LMAO. Definitely does not. Looks like it's rolled over first. Yeah, definitely see right there the big wicks to the upside. Quite a bit of green right there, though. Interesting. Look at the volume aggregation tool, guys. Just super red right there. No major green coming in. Not even on that little green pop over there to the right. I'm not going for excitement, Monkeytron. I'm actually not excited at all. I could care less, but there's an opportunity there for the trend is down. I'm not going to, put my money on a huge reversal here. It could happen, but I'm not necessarily going heavy into that hypothesis because it's just a theory at this point in time. But if it does take out my stop, my tight stop is what it is. Don't care either way. Your friend's still holding XRP, Eli. He didn't get out on this last pop? Why would he, right? He thinks he's going to get all of his money back. So he didn't get back up when we were at 60 again for the first time in like a year? Yeah, he could have got out flat. I didn't think about your friend. I should have thought about that and told you to tell your friend to sell, otherwise he's stupid. Well, I can't say that. Look, if it's throwaway money for him, and I think you said it was, and he wants to hold it for years, I'm not going to be mad at him. Dude, the XRP mainnet launch is a real thing. It's big news. It's great for crypto. It's the only legitimate thing going on with crypto. Literally. The only legitimate thing going on with crypto right now is that. He got all in? Really? Oh. See, that sucks. Hey, bring him in the power hour one day and give me his email address so we can chat with him and just kind of see what he's thinking. Mel, this doesn't give me a little bit of a hell yeah feeling. What will give me a hell yeah feeling is if Bitcoin breaks 5,800. That's it. Any of this other little miscellaneous oscillating crap, I really don't care about. XRP gave me a hell yeah feeling because BitMEX gave me the best sell I could ever hope for while I was taking my kids to school. Well, I hope his bet covers his losses. Hope his bet covers his losses. My son Ethan just walked in the room. Hello, Ethan. You playing with Mom? What are you guys playing?
We were playing like the biting belly game.
Biting belly game? Biggest grin on that kid's face. That's fantastic. That's so cool. Okay. All right. A lot of people dropped off. We're down to 170. Nobody just wants to watch the market, it looks like. All right, guys, I'm probably going to get out of here in a little bit. If you guys want to ask a few more questions, go ahead and do so. I'm going to get out of here. Monkeytron, you fucking so lucked out on that XRP BitMEX trade. Oh, yeah. When do they ever give money back? Awesome. Yeah, right? Dude, I posted it on Twitter. I straight up put it out there. They liquidated me. I didn't try to play it out like I was the smart guy in that situation. I would have not taken nearly as much profit away. Literally, when I was dropping my kids off at school, that thing topped, and by the time I got back down, it already dropped like 20%. So I was just screwed. To my kids' school, Frost, James and Ethan. James and Ethan. Okay, Nifty. Let's check out Nifty now. We got. I still have it up 0.125%. It hasn't quite opened yet. What's the print on that one? I've got it at 1,090 or something currently. What's the print? You said down like 2%. I can maybe do that, Mexican Charlie. Maybe do a video on it. I haven't done too many public videos lately because the market's just been super boring. And my last video I posted said it was all on the charts and that we're headed lower. That's still my general thought consensus here is that we're probably headed lower out of this. I don't know if it's going to happen right now, but it could happen overnight. It could happen tomorrow. Index, not the ETF. How do I do that? Is that the Nifty? Is that just Nifty? I've got so many. This is my. Yeah, I got so many things up here. Got to realize I don't have no idea what we're talking about here, Stratwer, in terms of that. That's the ETF. That's the ETF. The Indy. Is it the Indy? No, that's the NASDAQ fund. That one? Nifty Ease. That's an ETF too. Index fund. But that's on the NASDAQ. Speaking of which, what are the futures doing? Down about 0.5%. Trying to poke up a little bit right there. Have to wait and see how that goes. Yeah, I don't know, Stratwer. I can't really. Nifty. Nifty Bees, Reliance, Nifty. I don't know here, buddy. Is it a BSE? God, this is so stupid the way they have this laid out. I guess it's not that stupid. NSE Nifty 50. I think I have that right. This one? Reliance Nippon Lee? I hope it's that. Nope, that's up 1.57%. Yeah. Post a chart, my friend. Post a chart in Slack. I can pull it up if you post it in Slack. Speaking of Slack, where is it? There it is. Or Stratware, you post a chart too. I was actually thinking about Stratware, but I think I saw you there, Mel. What'd you say? One single 8K sell candle ETH on Finex. Oh, wow, yeah. Looks like the bars are up. That's pretty cool. How's the bars are work for you there, Mel? Do you like that? I haven't really messed with it in a while. Mac, I did not answer your question about the ETH head and shoulders. Is that your question? What's your time frame? Eli, just saw your post there. I went all in. Let's hope this $10 trade on BitMEX plays out and I buy a Lambo. Absolutely. That happens every day in crypto. If you're not making a Lambo every day, you're doing something wrong. It's just the way that it is. You should have a Lambo every single day. Absolutely. Girlfriend saw you freaking out staring at red lines. Now I got a green Lambo. That's the color. You don't want the red one. That's a Ferrari color. 4-hour time frame. Okay, let's take a peek. Can I do my 2-hour? Oh, this head and shoulders. Yeah, we've had this. We've talked about this for a long time, Mac. I think I deleted it the other day, but yeah, we had this head and shoulders here for a long time, if you remember. At least a couple of weeks. There's our neckline, as a matter of fact, right there. And we've been, if you remember in Ethereum, if you go to the Power Hour spreadsheet, we have the Ethereum alerts at 240 and 213.89. So 240 is above the shoulder, which would negate the shoulder, and 213, which undercuts this prior low here. So those are our alerts on Ethereum. But yeah, definitely that neckline there. I haven't talked about it in the Power Hour probably as much in the past week because it's just been so flat. But we did have this head and shoulders and did talk about that over there. So thanks, Mel, for the super chat. Oh yeah, so let's do this. It looks like I deleted that trend line in terms of that head and shoulders. Great question. See what happens when you leave me just to ramble to my own devices. I talk a bunch of nonsense and 150 people leave. This takes us down to 167. Look at that, right down to that prior low. That's right where that looks like that wants to go. So if we get down there, we'll have to see what happens. Maybe if ETH gets down here, Bitcoin will get down to that 5,700 level, and then maybe we'll end up, and then we'll have to revisit when that happens. But so far, this is not looking great for a bounce. I mean, it could consolidate here for the next few hours and bounce up, absolutely. But usually, we've seen a lot of these bounce immediately back. Because keep in mind, this is like a one bar thing right here so far, and usually the 1 bar things like this one consolidated. It was a smaller bar, obviously, but Anyway, long story short, yes, this is a Head and Shoulders that finally broke to the downside, and I think that could potentially be your target, which is ultimately that prior low. If you remember when we talked about it, we were talking about it right here initially. Once we had this, actually we talked about the Head and Shoulders since we were here, then we went lower and bounced up again, and we talked about shorting it up here. I even had an arbitrary, not an arbitrary, but I had a short up here that I had to get out of based on all this action. And I actually had a short earlier today that I actually closed out stupidly and arbitrarily. It didn't hit a stop point. My stop was up here. Actually, no, I shorted it here, and my stop was here. And I should have left that one on. That was pretty dumb, to be honest with you. And then, yeah, roll right over right there. So, yeah, absolutely, I think the Head and Shoulders played out. And we're about halfway through that run right there. Mel says it has its advantages. I feel that the bear and bull signals can be misleading. However, the buying and selling signals are very useful. So the bull and bear signals are meant for engulfing candles, Mel. You can turn those off easily. You go here. Oops. You hit the settings button. Go to style. You can bullish engulfing gets rid of bull. Bearish engulfing gets rid of bear, and you're done. So absolutely, feel free to do that. And I kind of agree with you. I kind of agree with you with that. I wanted to do more with those, and I've actually spent more time on the bullish and bearish engulfing candle, getting those correct, than I have the buying and selling. Buying and selling is a pretty rudimentary algorithm, and it just kind of works. It just kind of shows you where the hidden buying and selling is coming into play. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for joining me. It's been kind of a long extreme stream, but yeah, thanks for joining me. The market is still hasn't retraced back to the positive side, and may just continue lower here. It's not looking super great. The volume generally declining into nothing as we get towards these highs. I think more than likely it's going to roll over. But again, if we break up here in higher volume, you got to go with the chart. If it rolls over again and you have a fake out, then again, members of the Power Hour, feel free to, I think it's the August 5th video where we talk about short selling in depth. So feel free to go check that out for you Power Hour members. Again, if it pops up out of here for some reason, we've seen that in the past where it pops out then comes down. All right, guys, thanks for joining me today. If you guys did enjoy the program, and most of the members here talking are Power Hour members: Mac, Mel, Stratra, Monkeytron, Cool Frost, I think, is in there. So a lot of these guys are members. If you guys do like the chat and what we talk about, feel free to join. It is a lot of fun. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you next time.